Well, before the break, we learned about taking care of our roof. Let's head to the deck now. The weather can certainly make it look drab and in need of a facelift. In today's Angie's List report, the difference between painting and staining your deck. When it comes to decks, a little neglect goes a long way. If the stain on your deck is fading or worn, you may be debating whether to stain it again or just paint over it. Angie's List asks the experts, and most say stick with the stain. They say the problem with paint is that most deck surfaces are horizontal, so the paint just lays on the deck. As a result, those areas hold water.
As the wood shrinks and expands with changes in moisture and temperature, the paint doesn't always have the ability to move at the exact same rate, and the only thing that it can do at that point is release and let go of the wood, and that manifests itself in cracking and peeling and chipping of the coating.
Unlike paint, experts say a stain won't chip, peel, or crack. They say a quality stain and sealer should penetrate the wood grain, allowing moisture to escape the wood.
We prefer oil-based products. There are water-based products that have come onto the market that are working to different levels of success. But what we're looking for is a good quality product in terms of its coloration, the way it has the ability to penetrate and soak into the wood fibers. And we're also looking for two components for the coating to protect the wood from the sun and from moisture and also fungus.
As far as its look, the pros say an oil-based or semi-transparent stain will make the deck look more natural. But staining the deck is no easy task.
I think after one or two times of doing it, people realize that the preparation, which is actually really key in doing any surface project like this, any type of coating, particularly on an outdoor surface like a deck, it requires an awful lot of elbow grease, a lot of thought, and a lot of work.
Angie Hicks, founder of Angie's List, says deck staining may seem like a simple weekend do-it-yourself project, but it's very time-consuming. She says if you're going to DIY, you need to take the time to commit to the project, and you need the expertise to do the proper prep work. For instance, Angie says if you apply too much pressure to the deck, you could cause splintering and other damage to the wood. You also need to give the deck a couple of days to dry before applying the stain.
Keep in mind, it's actually a little harder than the average paint job because it's such a high traffic area. You want to make sure that you get it done well and you don't rush to finish. Otherwise, you'll find yourself doing it again.
Angie's List says if you decide it's best to hire a pro, they may be able to help you get the longest lasting results.
Typically, a company will quote staining a deck by the square foot or by the hour, so be sure that it's clear in the estimate the size of the deck. Additionally, find out what types of materials they're going to use, and remember if they're going to have to do a lot of prep work, or like stripping old paint or stain, that's going to cost extra.
Whether you decide to do it yourself or hire a company, Angie's List says make sure there's a plan for covering and protecting plants and other areas from cleaners or stains. Now, wood decks do need to be re-stained every few years because even the best stains will fade, especially in high traffic areas. So that's the outside of the home. Let's head inside now. Jimmy has more on that.
Well, Lisa, planned home maintenance like staining the deck can certainly go a long way in making our home comfortable and cozy. But what about those other projects that we need to take care of? You know, like when the dishwasher goes kaput, the water heater starts leaking. Repairs like that can often cost big bucks. As a matter of fact, one study recently found that within a year's time, the typical household will spend an average of just over $1,300 on repairs and replacements. So joining us today with some advice on preventative maintenance is licensed contractor and home improvement expert David Leone. David, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thanks for having me.
So tell me, what do you see as the biggest breakdowns around the house?
Well, the biggest breakdowns seem to be that they're seasonal. So when you have the hot weather starting to come into effect, you've got your air conditioning and your refrigerator because they're working so hard to keep everything cool. And then in the winter and fall months, you have your heating unit as well as your kitchen appliances because everybody's inside, you're cooking, there's family over, so you're using them a little bit more.
Okay, so can you break down what these major costs are for us?
Yeah, sure. So a perfect example is your garbage disposal. So, you know, you're looking at about $47 to repair one and $182 to replace it. Something like your dishwasher. I know it starts to grow on you, right? So yeah, so your dishwasher, $127 to repair, and then it jumps up substantially to $515 on average to replace. And now if you're looking at your refrigerator, your air conditioning, and your heating unit with ductwork, you're going into the thousands easily.
Oh my goodness. So I guess the number one thing we could probably do then is plan. How can you help us do that? How can we plan it out?
The number one thing to do is to, of course, get a home warranty in place. Have that set as your peace of mind. But if something does go wrong, you know that what's happening is that you're paying a lot less for repair and replacement than you would out of pocket or by flipping through the phone book. But also preventative maintenance. It's very, very important. And I do have 3 quick, very easy ones to do.
Okay.
Your garbage disposal. If you take that and you just run cool water for about 2 minutes, throw a tray of ice cubes in, and it actually keeps everything nice and clean, fresh smelling, and it actually sharpens the blades.
Oh, okay.
Now everybody knows the refrigerator, for example. You pull that fridge back and it's all dirty and dusty.
Yeah.
Just by vacuuming the coils in the back, it's going to run more efficiently and saving you more money.
Okay.
And then the easiest one, and the one that I tell everybody, please do this, are the filters of your heating and air conditioning as well as some of your appliances. Just by keeping those clean, you're going to run more efficiently, saving energy, and also prolonging the life of your appliances.
All great money saving tips there, David. Thank you so much. Now, you know what we could all use is a great kitchen makeover. Tell me about the summer of giveaways.
Oh, you're going to love this. It's American Home Shield Summer of Giveaways. And what it is at a $25,000 kitchen makeover or up to $10,000 in gift and prizes. And it's so easy to enter. Just go to facebook.com/teamAHS. And, I don't know about you, Jimmy, but I could use a kitchen makeover.
and the wife will back that up, I'm sure. I know mine will. David Leon, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. If you'd like to read more about what David just had to say, all you have to do is go to WBOC.com and click on our picture at the top of the page. Now, one way you can cut your household budget is by growing your own food, and that's a big part of the farm-to-table movement. One restaurateur wants to take that concept a step further, how it could change the way your plate looks. And a little later on, if you can't get out in the field to pick your own food, doesn't get any fresher than this. Delmarva Life's Sean Stryker makes a stop at one of the farmers markets in Salisbury. But first, we've been talking about home improvement and maintenance this afternoon. Maybe you're looking to buy a home. Our friends from Sussex County Federal Credit Union can help. Here's Deb with this week's tip.
On behalf of Sussex County Federal Credit Union, I'm Debbie Jewell with this week's Dollars and Cents tip. Despite the ups and downs of the mortgage world, the opportunity to fulfill the American dream of home ownership is still alive and well on Delmarva. Many times, people choose to rent because they just don't have the 10 or 20% down payment required from many lenders. But at Sussex County FCU, we offer other options. If you've been considering purchasing or constructing a home, contact your neighborhood credit union for home financing and affordable options that offer 100% financing for amounts up to $250,000. No private mortgage insurance, and no points. For the same payment, if not less, you can own a home. To get pre-approved, visit sussexcfcu.com. Together, we can achieve more.